Ladies and gentlemen, if I can, I'd like to be extremely vulnerable with you today and share with you a story that's so close to my heart. This is a story of a young girl. That young girl had just ended high school. She was introverted and shy and had numerous self-confidence issues. She had bad skin and the glasses and the braces to match, and every day she was scared of being called a new name. On top of all of this, she suffered from severe period pains and cramps once a month, as well as chronic hives. Now these hives got so bad that at times she woke in the morning with long cuts down her thighs from the uncontrollable scratching she endured at night. It was painful, it was embarrassing, and it was a final lock on a closed door to health. So keeping this young girl in mind, who here would like to take part in an activity today? All right, so I'd like you all to close your eyes and take a big deep breath. All right, now keeping your eyes closed, I would like you to imagine the most beautiful door that you have ever seen. Think about what colour it might be, how big it is, the house that it's attached to. This is the door that you walk through after ticking off on your dream list, that biggest dream that you've ever had. Now that you know what it looks like, what it feels like, I'd like for you to imagine, arched across that doorway, one word that really encapsulates what health means to you, shining there in bright colours. Now open your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, what I tell you today may or may not come as a bit of a surprise, so I'd like you all to lean in close. I'm going to let you a bit of a secret. Those health doors that you've just imagined, you all have the ability to open them. And why, I hear you ask? Because our bodies are magnificent. They're amazing. How many times in a day do we stop to truly appreciate how magnificent our bodies are? I can tell you that that young girl never did. And what's more is that never once did she consider herself an abnormal teenager. Everybody has issues, right? And this is just her lot in life. That was until her doors were opened through chiropractic care and she was able to truly learn the true potential of her own body. And this is a philosophy of chiropractic that I want to share with you today. She learned that the body is a complex structure consisting of even more complex systems that work in conjunction with each other to enable us to experience small miracles every day. Now, I could go into detail about each of these systems, but for the moment, let me tell you about one. That's the central nervous system. Now, the central nervous system is one of, if not the most important system in our bodies. It is an intricate web of messages that pass from the brain to the body and back again, allowing them to communicate with each other. It begins at our brain, which is in our skull, and extends down through our spine as the spinal cord. Now, branching off from this spinal cord are countless spinal nerves that come out and connect to everywhere in the body. So let's think of this a little bit like a hallway in a home. So running through your home, you have a spinal cord hallway. And then branching off this hallway are doors upon doors that are open and open to allow the messages to flow through to the rest of the body. The light flows through and things are working perfectly. So these messages go to the organs, the muscles, the skin, everywhere in your body. So let's talk about that for a moment. Now I'm going to tell you another little story. This is my first time in the United States. And I flew into San Francisco last week. Who here has been to San Fran? Yeah, it's a nice place. So like any good tourist, I decided to hire a bike and ride across the Golden Gate Bridge. It was gorgeous. I had the wind through my hair, the sun on my shoulders, and I took about 300 photos on the bridge itself. But then after experiencing this awesome opportunity, things started to get interesting on the way home. My front tyre caught into a steel rod that was on the road, and I went head over heels, grazing my hands, my knees, and my ankles. Now there I was, sitting in the gutter, distraught. I was in pain, I had these bleeding hands, knees, but then I looked down and in the blink of an eye, my body started the healing process of bruises and inflammation. And it was doing that all throughout, all while I was digesting my lunch, breathing, having my heart beat. It was awesome, right, that our body can do that. And now 5 days later, I can see the new skin forming on my hands. And I'm sure you've all experienced something similar. So then, if it wasn't me who was consciously controlling these actions, then what was? That's something that we like to call innate intelligence, or the living wisdom of the body. Innate intelligence is present in all living beings. It's what gifts us with life and keeps the life flowing throughout us. As the developer of chiropractic, B.J. Palmer said, "It finned the fish, it winged the bird, and it fanged the beast. It's what takes us from a sperm cell and an egg and transforms us into the beautiful person you see in the mirror every day." Innate intelligence works alongside our nervous system to open those doors of potential in our body and enable us to experience life as it exists all around us. Just imagine, though, if one of those doors slammed shut. Believe it or not, this has the potential to occur rather frequently. When there are interferences in our nervous system, those doors in our bodies begin to close, one by one. This can cause all kinds of issues and lead us to experience much less than our optimum best. Chiropractors call this a subluxation, which is the science behind chiropractic. Being in a state of subluxation is when our bodies are unable to deal with the stresses of daily life. Every day we come into all kinds of weird and wonderful stresses. Some of these are expected, like the Dallas Mavericks winning the basketball championship, and others not so much. So I've categorised these into 3 groups for you. So we've got physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress. When these stresses become too much for our bodies to deal with, those doors close, and a subluxation is created as a form of self-defense. So then, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for you? Well, what do you do when you see a closed door? Right? You can't go through it, so you might get angry, frustrated, upset even. In any case, you'll find an alternate route to get to where you need to go. And that, my friends, is exactly what the messages in our bodies do when they're dealing with a subluxation. Now, this new pathway could take a longer period of time. The message could get distorted. In some cases, the message may not even get through at all. Can you imagine what that would mean for your health? Thankfully, though, that's where chiropractic comes in. And chiropractors are the only healthcare professionals in the world who are fully equipped to be able to confidently locate and assist in the release of these subluxations. We use a hands-on approach focusing on your spines to gently and naturally guide your body to be able to heal itself. It's through these specific, artful chiropractic adjustments we're essentially giving you the key. The key to open all of those magnificent doors in your body. So then what would it mean for you, your friends, your family, your loved ones, to have the opportunity to open their doors through chiropractic? Think about that door, that dream door that you thought about earlier. Imagine that being opened to wondrous possibilities. Doesn't matter if you're a mechanic in Michigan, a student in South Dakota, or a teacher in Texas. You're never too old, too young, too sick, or too healthy to benefit from chiropractic care. Now, I want to tell you about that young girl I told you about earlier. That young girl, once upon a time, that was me. Life was hard. But thankfully, through regular chiropractic care, my doors opened up. My skin cleared, my cramping stopped, and my hives finally cleared. And I have the confidence to stand in front of each of you today and share with you my story. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you a life filled with open doors and with open opportunities. Thank you.